Hey, it's Vicky, and I'm here with a book haul to show you. And I know, very recently I was talking about how I'm trying to get my physical TBR down, so I'm trying not to buy books. But in my defense, some of these books were gifts or like books that were passed on to me from other people. And then I did have a birthday come up where I, treated myself to a couple things. So yeah, it's not a big haul. It's less than 10, but it's a haul. So let's get into it. So the first two books that I have to show you are ones that were passed on to me by my grandma. She read them and thought I would want to read them as well. So yeah, I accepted. The first one is Another Brooklyn by Jacqueline Woodson. And Jacqueline Woodson is an author I've read a couple of things from her and have really enjoyed. She's done some middle grade stuff, and I think I've read one book by hers that was for adults, and it was great. This one I believe is also for adults, and it has to do with a woman who runs into an old friend that she sort of like grew up with in Brooklyn in the 1970s, and it sort of brings back all these memories about her and that friend and two other friends, so like the four of them. And it has, like I said, a setting of 1970s Brooklyn and how they were sort of coming of age during that time where there was this sort of innocence and fun about the time period, but also this sort of dark underbelly. And yeah, like to me, this sounds like totally up my alley. It seems like it's going to have coming of age elements. I know that I love Jacqueline Woodson's writing, so this is going to be a great read for me. And then the other one that she gave me was Finding Me by Viola Davis. This is Viola Davis's memoir. I am a fan of her work. I feel like she's one of those actresses that if she's in the movie, you know that it's going to be a good movie. And so I'm really interested in seeing what her upbringing was like and what her life was like and all of that. So also really excited about this. Then for my birthday, I was only gifted one book, which is good. I mean, it's a good thing. My family got me a book for my birthday. This is the one that actually, I'm told Leia specifically picked this book out for me. And it's called The Finalists by David Bell. And it's basically about these 6 college students who are struggling to pay for their college tuition. And there is this opportunity to win this scholarship from this like prominent family in the area. It's called the Hyde Scholarship. And sort of the terms of even being eligible for this scholarship is they have to go to this rundown home on the campus property, which was owned by the Hyde family. They have to stay there for, I don't remember how long it said. They have to stay there, but when they go, they have to surrender all their devices, so they can't have their phones and stuff like that, and they're going to be locked in, and they cannot leave until that particular 8 hours. There you go. They have to stay there for 8 hours. They are not allowed to leave. If they leave, they're disqualified from winning the scholarship. And then, of course, one of the 6 people that goes ends up dead. So then they start to worry that they're being picked off. And I don't know what's going on. So it seems like it's going to have a mystery element, that whole sort of locked room mystery. I'm actually saving this because there is a buzzword for the Buzzword Reading Challenge down the line somewhere where it's like game words. Finalists would be perfect for that. So I'm going to save this book for that Buzzword Challenge. Then the rest of these books I picked up on my own just because I wanted them. So the first 2 are new releases that just came out that I knew I wanted to physically own, and I wanted to go buy them when they came out. In the first one, I talked about both of these actually in like my upcoming spring releases video. The first one is House of Cotton by Monica Brashears, and this is, I'm not sure what this is classified as. It seems like it might be like just like suspense, maybe a little thrillery, but it's about a young woman who is just like struggling financially. She's working as like a cashier at a gas station, and she meets this man named Cotton who basically says, hey, I want you to come and be a model for me at my funeral home. And because she needs the money and stuff, she does it. And things just get weird, which, I mean, that sounds pretty weird. So what turned me on initially to this book was the cover. I think the cover is just really stunning. And even when I bought it at the bookstore, the cashier was like, wow, that looks like a really interesting book. So yeah, I'm hoping to read this very soon, like preferably like next month. And then the other new release that I picked up is Kate Morton's new book, Homecoming, which again, the cover. Kate Morton's covers, whoever designs her covers, they always do such a good job. All of her covers are just stunning. This one, I believe, deals with just in typical Kate Morton fashion, there's two timelines going on. There's a present day timeline and then a timeline going on in the 1950s. And in the 1950s timeline, a family was murdered on Christmas Eve. And in the present day, our main character is going to her grandmother's to care for her because she is dying, and she kind of stumbles across some stuff from her grandmother's past that somehow shows her connection or knowledge or something about what happened to this family that was killed in the 50s. And so they're somehow related. I bought this book even though I have two of Kate Morton's backlist books on my shelf that I haven't read, but I couldn't resist. I had to buy it. Then the next one I have to show you guys is another Joanne Fluke book. I picked up Key Lime Pie Murder. I wanted to do another one of these books. Again, speaking of how I was just talking about the buzzword reading challenge, one of the buzzwords in the next couple months is flavors. And so I immediately thought of one of these books would be perfect because almost every title has like a flavor word in it, and I wanted to definitely dive into another one of these mysteries. This is a cozy mystery series about a woman who lives in Minnesota and she owns a bake shop, and she keeps stumbling upon these murders in her town and having to solve them and like play detective. And then like along the way there are recipes in the book that you can make. I read one of these books back in January and I did a whole like vlog where I baked all of the recipes and it was really fun. And I kind of want to do something similar with this book, but I don't think I'm going to do all of the recipes. But I picked this one because there are a ton of books in this series, but I picked this one because it takes place sort of at summertime or at the start of summer, and it deals with a carnival, which just sounds really fun to me, like going into, like we're kind of going to be moving into the summer months soon. And so I thought that would be a good time, like just seasonally a good time to read this. And also flipping through the recipes, there were a couple in here that I definitely want to try. But like I said, I'm not going to do all the recipes again because that was just too much. It was crazy. But this one should be fun. I enjoyed the first book that I did read in the series, and this one should be a good time. Then the last couple I picked up because I was trying to kill time while my daughter was at a birthday party. I wanted to kind of hang out in the area, and there was a bookstore nearby. It was actually a used bookstore. So I popped in there and I picked up a couple books while I was browsing. The first one is the fifth book in the A Series of Unfortunate Events series. Though we have not read books 3 or 4 yet, I saw the fifth one and thought it was a good price, so I picked it up. So I don't know what this is about, and I don't want to know because I don't want to spoil myself for books 3 and 4 yet. So all I know is this is the fifth book. The kids and I enjoy this series. We actually just finished reading the second book, so we want to definitely keep going, and that's why I'm kind of slowly collecting these editions. The next one I picked up is a book by Stephen King that I'm hoping to read this year because I'm trying to read all of his books in chronological order, and so one of the ones coming up soon is From a Buick 8. And this one, I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this one. I don't really know what it's about. Just from reading the blurb, it sounds like it has a little bit of a Christine vibe, like an evil car, maybe from another time or another like when, and like a parallel universe, but somehow the car has bad vibes. And I was actually not a huge fan of Christine, so I don't know if this one's gonna be enjoyable for me or not, but I'm gonna read it anyway because I'm a completionist and I have to read all of Stephen King. And then the last one that I picked up, and the last one for this haul, is one that I have had on my TBR since I heard about it. And I've been like going back and forth between like, do I want to listen to it on audio? Do I want to physically read it? Do I want to own it? Can I get it from the library? Da 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 da. And when I saw a used copy at the bookstore, I'm like, you know what? And I actually opened it up and I read the first couple pages. I went, yeah, I need to physically read this because I'm already like in love with the writing. And that is The Death of Vivek OG by Okweke Emezi. And this is about a Nigerian family. And I think the very first scene is this mother finding her son, Vivek, dead on the front porch. I don't know if you know how he died or what, but then the rest of the book kind of takes you back in time to his childhood, and you sort of see the way that Vivek grew up. And yeah, like I said, the writing has already grabbed me. So yeah, this is one I have been wanting to read. I've heard it is heartbreaking, but so beautifully written. And this is an author I have been wanting to try. And so I picked it up. Oh, hi. All right, guys, so those are some books that I have hauled recently. Let me know if you have read any of these books and if there are any that I should read very soon or what. I know, like I said, there's a couple that I'm hoping to read like in the next month or two. New releases that I've purchased. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful month, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.